Welcome. Hold on. Check 1, 2. Okay. Sorry, I am coming through. It's just my volume's a little low. Take 2. Welcome to Rock and Metal Songwriting, where I help you go from riff ideas to fully finished songs. My name is Quincy Kane, and this is day number 16 of my 20-day songwriting question challenge. So this is the last week of the challenge. We're in the home stretch. Today's question is, how do I fit lyrics to a riff or groove? So we're going to dive in that today. If you've got a question yourself, feel free to leave it in the chat, and I'll get back to it near the end of the stream. If you're watching on the replay, just go ahead and leave a comment, and I'll do my best to get a reply to you. But today's question, how do I fit lyrics to a riff or groove? So first off, I've got riff or groove, but the approach is going to be the same. So even though those aren't technically the same thing, a groove might be more of just the overall rhythmic section of the band. The approach for fitting lyrics to a groove, fitting them to a riff, even just fitting them to a regular chord progression is basically going to be the same approach. The problem is if you write the parts separately. So if you just happen to write a riff and you've kind of got, it's kind of a cool idea, and then sometime you write some lyrics, and you're not writing them specifically for that riff, you just happen to write some lyrics, and then you're thinking, oh, hey, I've got these lyrics, I've got this riff, maybe I can put them together. It's not likely that they're going to fit super well. It's possible, but it's not likely they're going to fit because they really need to be designed to fit together, which is what I'm going to show you how to do today. A problem you might run into is you might have lyrics, but they might be too wordy, and you're just not going to be able to fit them in a nice rhythmic pattern that works with the riff that you have. And so a lot of times you want to try to write these things. You want to write with the other part in mind. If you're going to write the riff, you've got to have the lyrics in mind. If you're going to write the lyrics, you've got to have the riff in mind. So most likely, you're going to write the riff first, and then the thing that you really need is before the lyrics, you need to find a vocal pattern first. So basically, you need to figure out how the vocals are going to fit in there first before you even write any words. And that's kind of creating like this sort of this fill in the blank for your song. It's like, okay, I've got the vocal pattern. Now I can fill in the blanks with actual words and get that to fit in there. Now, it is possible you could write the lyrics first, and then from the lyrics, create a vocal pattern, and then based off of that vocal pattern, try to write some music to accompany that. But notice that's the key right there, is you have to have a vocal pattern, and that's what's going to fit the lyrics and the music together. So let's look into that a little bit. Keep in mind that when we're talking vocal pattern, it could be a melody for singing, but it also is just the rhythm intended for harsh vocals. Again, if we're talking about rock and metal, if you're doing a style that uses harsh vocals like screaming and growling and that kind of thing, it's still the same approach. You still have to have a vocal pattern. The only difference is that vocal pattern is not going to be filled with a melody. So the melody might be the extra step if you're actually intending to sing over your riff rather than just screaming over it. So let's kind of let's look at a few examples. So first off, when we're talking about a vocal pattern, like what exactly are we creating there? I don't know if you've ever heard of stomp before. I think that's what it's called. But what stomp is, it's when you get a group of people and everyone comes up with a pattern to contribute and create this like very big like jungle beat kind of thing, this like huge rhythmic section. So the way that works is you'll just have someone, I used to do this, at school with my friends or something at the lunch table, but you have someone just start off with a solid beat, just I don't know if you can hear that. So, and then someone goes, and then someone adds dun 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 dun, and someone else adds dum-dum, dum-dum, and it's just these little bursts of patterns, but they're all coming in at a different time, and I can't really demonstrate it by myself, but when you hear it all collectively, it creates this really cool kind of tribal jungle effect. But all you're doing, the part you're contributing, you're just listening to what everyone else is doing, and you're just trying to find a simple little pattern that you can add to that rhythm, and that's basically what we're doing when we're coming up with a vocal pattern. you're just going to listen to the music that you have, your riff. It might even be a good idea to just record your riff, just record it on your phone or record it in your recording software. And so that way you can listen to it and then just try to kind of tap along with it or kind of speak along with it. You don't even have to sing with it, but sort of speak and try to find some kind of vocal pattern that fits nicely. So there's a couple ways. Let's start with something super simple first. Most of the time, this probably is not what you're going to do, but I think it's worth mentioning just because this is probably the simplest thing you could do. But I was thinking of the song Iron Man, and what's kind of interesting about that song is that the vocal melody and pattern actually match the riff. So I'm in a different tuning than the song, but if I were to play the Iron Man riff... the vocals, let's not even sing it first. Let's just sing, like, just speak the words. Or not even speak it. Let's just say, like, bop, bop. That's going to represent our vocal pattern. It's just matching the riff. Bop, 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 bop. And actually, I think they match that ba-da-da-da-da-da, bop, 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 bop. Okay? Then you add a melody to that, which is the same melody as the riff. And then you just add the words. I am. And I don't think I know any more of the lyrics after that. But you get the idea. So that's a very simple example, but you could try that, especially if you're just starting off. Maybe you have a riff that your vocals can just follow the same movement, the same pattern, the same timing, and the same melody as what your riff is already contributing, so you can kind of build off of that. However, most of the time, it's likely you're going to have a riff and you're going to come up with sort of a different pattern that isn't just matching exactly what the riff is doing. So I'm going to give you an example of that. Let's listen first. I've got a recording here. This was a song I put out a while back called For You. Listen to this main riff. Now, it is kind of an odd timing at first. It starts with a 7 count, and then eventually it picks up and goes into a regular 4 count. So listen to this riff. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. And it really kicks it here. So that's our riff. So maybe you've got something like that and you're like, okay, this sounds cool. How do I actually add words to that? Well, again, you want to find the vocal pattern first. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to sing it. I'm just going to sort of say, bop, bop. I'm just going to use the word bop to represent the vocal pattern. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 bop. Okay, so very simple. It's all on the downbeat. Now, it doesn't just start right away. 1, 2, 3. It doesn't just come in. Notice it comes in later. 1, 2, 3. Bop, 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 bop. And that's basically your blank. And it's like, okay, so if I can just add words. And actually, now that I'm thinking of the words, there's a little more to it than that. It actually goes ba-da, bop, 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 bop. So it kind of leads into it a little bit. But now from that, I found a place that I could sing along with or speak along with, and it fits in rhythmically. It's not competing. It's not overcrowding anything. It just fits in nicely. A very simple pattern. It's nothing super complicated. Now, in this case, you could just make that harsh vocals. Like I'll do like a little whisper scream for you, but if I were to scream the words, I know you rest loneliness. You think you're okay, but you've been tricked. I'm out here bleeding, you can hear me. So I'm kind of just imitating a scream there. But you can hear just taking that simple pattern, then you just add words, and there you go. It fits with your riff. Now, in this case, I actually have a melody. I'm not screaming that song, I'm singing it. So let's take the words away, go back to the pattern, and let's add some notes to it first. Dum, 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 dum. Da, 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 dum, 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 dum. Dum, 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 dum. Dum, 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 dum. Dum, da, da, da. All right. There we go. So it's the same pattern. Dum, 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 dum. Well, bop, 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 bop. But now I'm just adding notes, and notice the notes move up, they move down. Sometimes they're kind of lower, and then they'll move up to kind of a higher register and sort of alternate back and forth. So it sort of creates sort of the sense that there's more movement happening than there actually is. It's actually a very simple vocal pattern that's fitting in there. So one more time, if I were to then add the words to that, you've got your vocal pattern, you've got your melody, your notes for that pattern, and now you just add words. You write words to it. I know you've coped with this loneliness. You think you're okay, but you've been tricked. And you get the idea. You just kind of sing along with it. All right? So I'll give you another example, and we'll just do the same process. Let's look at like a heavier riff, something a little chunkier. Something more like for a breakdown riff. Have a listen to this. I like that, but I'm going to turn it down because I think it was just a touch loud. All right, so we got this big, heavy riff. We're going to do the same thing. We're just going to find a vocal pattern first. So, a vocal pattern first. Sorry if I said that weird. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. All right, now that might be a slightly more complex rhythm. It's a little quicker paced. Once again, notice I'm not coming in right away. It sort of plays the riff. It has a vocal that kicks in. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. It's very quick, rapid. Da 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 da. And then it's gonna do da 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 da. All right, but that fits rhythmically. It's not competing, even though it's bump 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 consistent. It's, you know, it's just all on the downbeat, da, 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 or the down and the upbeat. So it's more of a pulse. It's not like this really complex rhythm that is competing with everything else that's going on. It's something that fits in nicely. So once again, basically you just take that and you add your vocals to it. So in this case, this song has harsh vocals. So you add your words and then you just scream over top of it. Like a plastic. There's something inside of me, and I know that's more than just death. So there we go. So same process. You're just coming up with a vocal pattern first, and then you're writing words to fit in that pattern. And then you can scream over those words, or you can add a melody to sing those words. That's pretty much the whole process. Yeah, I mean, that's really all there is to it. I could kind of keep giving examples. Like I've got one more riff recorded here. So if you just have, you don't have to have a fully finished recording like what I'm demonstrating there. If you just have a guitar riff. So that might be your riff right there. And you just kind of, again, you just find a vocal pattern. Da-da-da, 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 da 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 da. So that's our pattern there, and then you just add those screams in there. The pressure is building, tearing me apart. I'm falling, collapsing. I can't believe that my... Notice how it's fitting with the riff there. I'm finding a pattern that is actually fitting on those upbeats, that bump, 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 bump. So it kind of has its own pattern. It's building and tearing me apart. Fix it. I'm falling, collapsing. I can't believe that my foundation is breaking. I stand on weathered ground. And hopefully you get the idea. Even if the riff changes. Yeah. Calm your mind. Just a simple bum, 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 bum. Open up your eyes and suck it up. You've had long enough. So, yeah, that's really all you're doing. Now, notice that second section there, the lyrics are, or the vocals are a little more scarce. So don't feel like you have to crowd up all the space. Don't feel like you have to jam or cram your vocals in there. Sometimes it's okay to let the riff breathe. That's kind of what that second section does. The riff is just kind of rocking out, kind of lingering. Then the vocals come in. Bop, 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 bop. Riff. Bop, 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 bop. Now a little more. Bop, 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 bop. So it's kind of like the vocals are progressively contributing more, but don't feel like with a riff like that, just don't think you automatically have to like crowd the song or with too much vocals. You know, sometimes less is more. So that's really all there is to it. And as far as like finding a vocal pattern, it's like I said, it's just a matter of experimenting and trying different things. I'd say really experiment with coming in at different times. Don't automatically assume that it's best to come in at the beginning of the riff. That might work, like right on that one beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, right when it kicks in. Maybe that's where your vocals should start. Maybe you should come in a little before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ba-da-bum. Like your vocals are starting early. Maybe you should come in after, like I demonstrated with some of those other riffs, like this one here, this heavy riff. The riff plays first and then the vocals come in. So you want to experiment with coming in at different times and find the one that feels the most right, the one that feels like it's fitting nicely with your riff. And then the last thing I would say, hey Stan, appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're doing well. The last thing I would say is I would typically start with the riff first, but I do think it's possible to do the reverse order. You could start with lyrics first. Let's say you've written some lyrics, but I would say before you jump right into writing music, maybe try coming up with a vocal pattern for those lyrics first, maybe even a melody for the lyrics first, and then add some music to it. So I'm actually going to experiment with this. I'm going to try to make up like a dumb little song on the spot real quick. So I haven't written any music for this, but I've got some words here. My lyrics are, this is the live stream, gonna try my best to teach. There we go. That's the lyrics. So let's say those are your words, and we're just gonna try to come up with a pattern. So let's see, maybe this is the live stream, the gonna try my best to teach. Yeah, so that might work. Dut, 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 dut. This is the live stream, gonna try my best to teach. This is the live stream, gonna try my best to teach. So that's sort of the pattern there. So if I can write a riff, I'll just try to make up something real quick. And I'm kind of matching what I did with the vocals. This is the live stream, gonna try my best to teach. You know, so. And so if you made that some harsh vocals, this is the live stream, gonna try my best at stage. This is the live stream, gonna try my best at stage. You know, you can hear it kind of fits in there. And even if we added, that's like fitting, you know, very precisely. If we added a little more, just a... This is the live stream, gonna try my best at stage. This is the live stream, gonna try my best at stage. So, you know, there's still, that way the riff is kind of branching out and not just following exactly what the vocals are doing. But that is kind of cool. That actually came out to be kind of a cool riff. So maybe there's a little tip right there. Maybe coming up with a vocal pattern first can inspire a cool sounding rhythm for your riff. So that's pretty neat right there. And if we wanted to try... okay, I'm not going to write the best melody in the world, but we could try adding a melody. This is the live stream, gonna try my best to teach. Don't like that. This is the live stream, gonna try my best to teach. This is the live stream, gonna try my best to teach. This is the live stream, gonna try my best to teach. So something like that. And obviously you would play around more and try to find notes that you like and you think fit well with your riff. But there we go. You know, that's not typically how I approach it, but if you're someone who you kind of like to write a lot of lyrics and you're just trying to find out how to add music to your lyrics, as I just demonstrated, you can do the same process in reverse. You can have your lyrics first, try to come up with a vocal pattern, and then write a riff or write a piece of music, a chord progression that fits with that. So hopefully that helps you out. Again, if you have any questions yourself, or maybe you've got some tips that have worked for you, feel free to leave a comment. And if you're interested in taking your songwriting to the next level and would like to work one-on-one with me, there is a link in the description to apply for a free coaching call. That's all for today. Until next time.